Hello, everybody. This is Chuck Wiger. We're at the state capitol, and today I'm very pleased to have visitors from the Maplewood Nature Center. We have Ann Hutchison, the lead naturalist.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
And then also Connie Herr, a naturalist at the Maplewood Nature Center, and also we have in the with us Chompers. Is that a tiger salamander? And we'll have an appearance by Chompers in a little while. So thank you for being here. The great outdoors, exploring nature is something that all Minnesotans value. And we work on that at a state level, at the local level, where it actually is implemented is just so important. And so I want to thank you again for stopping by to talk about a subject that I so much appreciate and our viewers. And I appreciate how many years that you've been involved with, this program at the Nature Center, and you've devoted your career, your good part of your life to this. So, tell us about the Nature Center.
Thank you, Chuck. 30 years for me this year. I can't quite
Congratulations.
believe it. It continues to be a passion, and we very much believe in getting all the folks outdoors and interested in caring for the out of doors and becoming good environmental stewards. And it's springtime. There's a lot going on. The babies are hatching. The goslings are out. The ducklings are out there peeping away. So, we're getting kids outdoors. We have a focus this year of pollinator education.
Yes.
We've gotten a 3-year grant through legacy funds from
Yes.
the state, and I have some fun photos if I could share those.
Yes, we will. And as we're getting this ready, the Nature Center right off of Highway 120, close to Minnehaha, I guess it's 7th Street.
Yeah.
And I think many people know, and as we know too, while it's in Maplewood, it's enjoyed by many people in the greater area.
Yeah, we get about 10,000 visitors a year, and Connie works Saturdays, and she knows how busy it can be with the families. We're just off Century Avenue.
Yes.
2659 East 7th Street, and we have a website, MaplewoodNatureCenter.com. So
excellent website, and we're going to see some pictures now, but all the program information and visuals, you can dive into that.
Okay, great. I'm so impatient to talk about our pollinator education. I forgot about the details, like where we're at. So come on by and visit us. We're open Tuesday through Saturday. But this particular grant is for one of our open space sites. Maplewood.
Okay.
City of Maplewood has 14 natural areas. Those are different than your typical city park.
Yes.
And so this is a new acquisition within the last couple of years called Fish Creek Natural Area.
Yes. Okay. Should we show the picture?
Yeah. So we got some pollinator grant money to teach about pollinators, and one of the things we're doing is teaching adults to do citizen science by learning 10 bee groups. And just walking transects in the new prairie restoration. And so we have Kathy Jacobson and one of our parks interns here looking for bees in particular and learning the native flowers that they feed on.
And remind everyone the importance of why we're doing this with the bees.
Importance of pollinators is, one, they're kind of in trouble.
Yes.
There's honeybees, which everyone's heard about. But a lot of people don't realize that we have over 350 kinds of native bees in Minnesota.
How many? 300?
More than 350.
Okay.
350 different kinds of bees, which it's been a learning experience for us too. So, and so this is kind of a really fun one. We have little jars that we capture them in.
Yes.
So this one we fondly call a hairy belly bee.
A hairy belly bee. Okay.
Instead of collecting pollen the way honeybees do on their back legs, they collect it on long hairs underneath their abdomen. So this is actually a picture of one in a jar, and we were able to identify it to that group, and that includes a bunch of different kinds of bees. So
great picture.
Yeah. And then we're also taking 800 K through 12 kids out to the site as part of our grant, and so these are just some fun pictures from they're learning about pollinators in the classroom.
That's when you just start early.
Yep, start early, get them excited. I mean, most people, when you think about bees, you think about being stung, you think, you know, but they pollinate our flowers, and the more flowers you have, the more your bees will work for in our orchards and our vegetable gardens.
It ties back to the food chain.
Exactly. So in fact, I just learned that there's a specific kind of bee that pollinates tomatoes. Honeybees cannot pollinate tomatoes.
Okay.
So we really need our native bees as well as our honeybees to help us with our food. 2/3 of food is insect pollinated.
Okay.
So we would see
2/3.
2/3.
Okay.
So if we didn't have our bees, we'd be hungry.
Yes, we need to thank the bees,
Yeah,
and
thank our bees,
not take it for granted. And that's why
Exactly.
legacy funds, and we're bringing it right to the community
Yep.
to help in this awareness. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, so the one thing you could do for a bee is simply plant a flower for them because
Yes.
they're starving to death, basically.
Yes.
Too much lawn, need
Yeah.
more flowers, less lawn.
Yes, and I know there's a lot of places where you can get the packets where you know get some seeds, and
Yep.
so
Prairie,
great
a
advice.
lot of nurseries have seeds, especially our native plant nurseries. And it's important to get seed that's not been treated with neonicotinoids because that is
Yes.
a chemical that is not good for bees. It makes them sick.
Yes.
So
Well, congratulations on your continued work in that area.
it's been super fun.
And you know, I have been going to the center for over 30 years myself, and just remember
I've seen you
almost
walking the trails.
many times, and actually as the kids grew up and
Yep.
going on those walks, and with grandkids now. It's about a 1.5 mile walk, I believe. It's
Yep.
so beautiful, and it's such an escape. I see lots of people too, even during their, maybe they're from 3M or somewhere in the area during their break, if they do have a break where they can just escape for a little while. And it's a beautiful place. And so I wanted to just do a pitch for how well you've preserved that area, and then the interactive exhibits. And here, let's continue. You've got some more details here.
Well, we do have a self-guiding trail. We have a beautiful little visitor center that people can visit with touch and feel exhibits.
Yes.
That's where Chompers lives, and we have a little hognose snake and sometimes a toad or turtle, depending on the season. Our place is tiny. I kind of compare it to an acorn, tiny but with lots of potential, and
Okay.
tiny but mighty.
It is. Yes.
We have 40 acres there. We have a little visitor center on one end, and then
You get this
we
on
have a
the-
self-guiding trail map. If we're closed, people can pick this up at the kiosk,
Mhm.
and there's little markers on the trail where people can learn about the interpretive points along the trail.
So many animals and types of birds, etc. I'd like to give us just an overview of the
Things you can
Types of
see on the
variety.
trail are muskrats, mink. It's a really favorite spot for Auduboners, which are
Yes.
bird watchers. So we get lots of warblers, the common yellowthroat, great crested flycatchers. I mean, our common backyard birds there as well. Maybe Connie would like to talk about. She's a great birder, so she can tell me about what your favorite birds are there.
Well,
Yes,
we've been,
Connie Herr, a naturalist, and
Yeah.
again, welcome, and
Thanks for
tell us
having
about
me.
some of your favorite things there.
well, we've been hearing the Baltimore Oriole there lately, and that's been
Yeah.
a bird that people have been excited to see.
Yeah.
Bright orange and
Bright-
blackbird.
Yeah, so those ones are beautiful. And I
Yes.
am excited about the great crested flycatchers and that as well. Sometimes we get to see the pileated woodpecker, which
Oh,
is
yes,
that huge one with the red crest, and
yes.
birders search for a while to see that one, and sometimes they don't even get to see them, but we hear them a lot at the
Oh, yeah,
nature
yeah,
center.
you.
Oh yeah,
Knock
you
in.
hear in a big.
Yes,
heavy-
and I've seen owls there.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
They tend to, I guess, hide near the backwoods
Yeah.
at the nature center more. I haven't seen them yet,
Yeah.
but people are.
once way back on the trail, and well, it was the hoot, and then and then you saw
That's
some
pretty
evidence
good.
there. Well, okay, good.
Sounds exactly like it.
Okay.
We have had people commonly come up and say, well, I heard owls hooting because they're around in our neighborhoods. You wouldn't think that they would be, but
Yeah.
we have great horned owls and barred owls in the neighborhood, and possibly screech owls too.
Mhm.
And barred owls have that mnemonic that sounds like "Who cooks for you?"
Mhm.
So would you like me to do
Sure,
it for you?
yeah.
So if you can kind of listen, it's ho 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 ho. So who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?
That was really good.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the kind of our loudmouth owl. They're one of the loudest ones around.
Mhm.
The great horned is bigger, but it has a softer call, so
Okay.
it's not quite as loud.
Good. And the beautiful pond that you have there, tell us about some of the creatures
Go ahead,
and
Karen.
organisms that
Oh, yes.
you might see there.
We have a whole bunch of painted turtles that love to come out when the sun is shining.
Oh, yes.
And my favorite are the muskrats. I always say that they're pretty tame because they'll swim right up next to you when you're walking on the dock, and you get a really good look at them.
Yes,
They're
the
eating-
floating dock is so
Mhm.
nice where you can get right up close. And
Yes.
Yeah, there's just a small little cable, so you can, reach your hand over, lay down on your belly, and reach your hand over and touch the water. And we catch aquatic invertebrates. We have pond programs on weekends where people can register, and we take nets out with ice cream buckets and scoopers and learn about dragonfly nymphs and damselfly nymphs and see the turtles and look under lily pads, and very interactive and wonderful place
yeah,
for
frog
families.
hikes too. Yeah,
Yep.
a frog moon hike. We have so many different types of hikes. And
Yeah,
so-
we're doing have one coming up this spring. Frogs and Flowers at Joy Park, which is a real nice natural area park
Yeah.
in Maplewood on Silver Lake, a different
Yes, yeah,
wetlands.
it's a
So.
great partnership you've had with North St. Paul and with the Silver Lake sharing
Yeah.
that boundary there.
Right.
And actually, technically, even Oakdale has a part of Silver Lake in the
Oh,
boundary.
true.
So,
Yeah.
but it's enjoyed by people throughout the area. So wonderful.
So one of our wetland creatures doesn't actually live in the wetland. Do you want to take out chompers?
Sure.
Connie?
Okay, introducing Chomper's
It's making an
tiger salamander, and making it, and is Chomper's male or female?
He's a male.
Okay.
Um,
Hello, Mr. Chompers.
he's
How old is Chompers?
We've had chompers a
For
long time.
quite
He
a
was
while
donated
now.
to us by someone who found him in their window well in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I would say chompers is probably close to 20 years old.
Whoa.
He's
Yeah,
up there.
he's been around for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
We call him chompers, but he doesn't have teeth. Okay. He's sort of like if you talk like this with your gum. And this
Hey,
one,
Chomps.
I think Chompers is a male salamander. And we feed him worms and crickets and, little sow bugs and beetles.
Mm-hmm.
They live on land. The only time they go to the water is for mating and depositing eggs. But they're mostly terrestrial creatures.
And they're also
Okay.
an indicator species, since their skin is permeable, so which means water can escape and go into their skin pretty easily. So they're sensitive to the environment. So if you're finding them, it's a pretty good indicator that you have a healthy environment.
Good.
And so one thing people can do is
jumpers.
provide an old stump or a log in their yard
Mm-hmm.
as habitat for these guys. They're not going to live in your yard if you just have beautiful green turf. Turf is not the greatest
Yeah.
habitat. If you want wildlife, you need some bushes and some trees and wildflowers and bits
Okay.
of logs.
So who does Chomper